thing that I learned, sometimes the hard way, is first of all to be myself and just authentically be myself. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And so I'm just myself. And so to be myself was a big step for me to figure out what that looked like. And then to believe in myself was even a bigger step. So having the confidence to be able to believe in who you are and what you bring. And then the third thing was be true to yourself and do the things that feel right to you. The other piece of advice is don't sweat the small stuff, but don't let the big stuff ride. So challenge the big stuff and speak up and be brave to speak up and challenge the big stuff, because we owe that. We just owe that to ourselves, and we owe that to everybody. I'll tell you a story about when I had my company and being a CEO and owning a company on your own, and it can be quite lonely and a little isolating, and there are times you're full of all kinds of self-doubt and not sure what to do and how to do, or things don't always go well and you sort of get beat up or you beat yourself up. And there was occasionally that somebody would give you a compliment or a word of advice or a helping hand or offer to help with something or tell you how well you did, and it just made my day. It just made me feel so much better to have somebody that had some advice or had some thoughts and wanted me to be better. And so at that time, the Forum of Women Entrepreneurs had just started, and so they provided education and support for women starting their own businesses, and they had a mentor program, where you can mentor a woman who has started her own business initiative and is running her own business. And I always say it's the most selfish thing I did, to get involved in their lives and what they did and how they did it, and to be part of maybe something that can keep them, give them some advice and give them some of that feeling that you're not the first one that had to go through this, and it's not that lonely out there, and it's not that isolating, and you can be, there's a whole bunch of us want you to be successful. And that to me was really rewarding. So I'm a big believer in mentors.
You know, what's that old expression? If you need something done, you ask a busy person, right? I think a lot of the volunteer stuff I did once the kids were around was around kids' things. As an accountant, everybody needs an accountant. Whether it's the scout troop or the school or everybody needs an accountant. And I found that I could very easily do a good job because I had the skills that other people didn't have, so I could fool them that I was helpful. And I think that had a lot to do with it, right? The fact that I had someone at home, I could do things with the kids. Now, there's lots of stuff I did that weren't kid-related, but you just find the time, and it just happens, right? And sometimes you want to say no, but you go, oh, I'll find a way. And we always did. There'd been a new scout pack started in our neighborhood, and we all helped out. I did the accounting, my wife did something else, and all that kind of fun stuff. But one of the things that we had good success with was, remember that term, you could get lottery funds, right? So because we were a fairly new scouting group and we had a lot of kids, a couple of us put together a proposal for the province, and we ended up getting enough money to buy, 8 canoes, full camping gear, just everything a scout troop would need and beyond. And that legacy, that was probably 20 years ago, and that legacy has continued to this day.
I've had a lot of different highlights, I guess, as I look at my career so far. First would be passing the uniform final examination, or the UFI at the time. My challenge was that I did it on the second right. So I got to do it twice, which was not maybe a lot of fun. So that was a great accomplishment in my mind. And but when I became a partner in public practice, That was a great highlight for me, and I got to participate with some great partners in growing our firm on Vancouver Island. We are a great group, and it was a lot of fun to be able to participate in that, and rewarding as well. Another highlight would be when I was chair of Island Savings Credit Union, and it was great to learn a different business from the inside, and be able to participate at that, and help that business grow on Vancouver Island, which was great. And then we got to go through a merger in that organization, and merge with First West Credit Union. Probably one of the bigger events that I was able to participate in, and that was taking part in the unification of the profession. I was fortunate enough to be there at the very end, along with my other legacy leaders, to be able to pass the ball over. It was the best position to be in. We were very fortunate to be able to be in that position to sort of be there to see the new organization take off, which was really a lot of fun. I also got to help at CPA Canada, really start to transform a lot of that organization, both on the board and as chair of the Finance, Audit and Risk Committee. Probably one of my proudest moments as a CPA was to be able to stand on stage with my daughter at convocation and introduce her to the people there, and as a new CPA. And so I was very proud that day, so that was great.